And that's where you need to do the outreach with them. Meaning when you talk to them, you don't use lingo like grace or lordship of Christ. You know, they don't know. So you don't want to talk about in ways that they don't understand. And then, of course, the believers. We are the believers. We come together, but you go to church on Sunday, so we do that. But each of these phases of growth, maturity, we would challenge them to move to the next level of spiritual maturity. That's the key. Oftentimes in the ministry, we don't learn Jesus' way, we do the shotgun approach. Who knows what a shotgun is?
I do.
You do? What does a shotgun do? Spreader. Do you have to aim?
A little.
A little, but you don't have to kind of like laser focus, zeroed in, right? You just aim in the direction and go BAM! And then how many bullets are there in a little shotgun?
Buckshot.
Buckshot?
It's about, depending on size, anywhere from 20 and 50.
20 to 50 little these bullets comes out.
Yeah.
So you don't need to aim. As a shotgun, you just go BAM! And it'll kill somebody in that direction. Okay? That's not what ministry is all about. And this is where we missed the boat. Jesus didn't laser focus. And oftentimes we can get confused with what we do on the programs, and later on we'll talk about programs, is because sometimes it's at church where we're supposed to be building one another like here. You're going to bring somebody who's a non-Christian, come here. Well, they wouldn't understand it. Okay? And it's okay to start listening, but eventually you're going to catch on. But for the most part, Jesus would meet you where you're at. Okay? And so when we do ministry, it's the same thing. So for ministry level of equipping, eventually this group, I would gather a number of you who would become trainer in the future. And that's the whole idea of moving on to the multiplication level.
Question?
So, for example, go ahead.
You said don't be shotgun like approach,
Laser focus?
but be
Yep.
focused. Like,
Focus on a targeted maturity
Like a laser.
level
Okay.
when you do any kind of ministry.
Okay.
The way we structure our people relationships, this is what a program does, okay? Are the activities which assist our process toward Christ-likeness. Meaning, each of your programs should have a specific purpose. Are you designing this program for the believers, for the growing people? Or are you programming this for those who are outside of the church? Okay? That's the difference. Because, for example, if you are doing it for the people who are outside of the church, then you need to be focusing on what they like, where they're at, and they definitely would not be familiar with our churchianity, right? Just think, okay, just think. I know some of you probably were born in a church and you probably have very little experience, but let's think if you're not in the church and you'll all of a sudden come to the church, what would you be shocked about?
Just saying that if an outsider would come to our church,
Yeah.
what would be what?
What would they be shocked about of what we as Christians do?
I don't know. I think praise, somebody that we can't physically see.
See, okay? So on the spiritual level,
Faith.
Okay. So to them, if they're coming from a materialistic worldview, the idea of spiritual realm is
The idea of surrendering yourself to somebody where you can't see or interact with every day physically.
Okay. Anything else?
Praying.
Okay, praying. Okay. Oftentimes, what do? When we say we have an outreach programs to reach the non-believers, we don't think through those things. And then we ended up saying, how come they don't come back? Okay? So we'll talk about it a little bit more. The principles: build relationships, ministry training, by evangelism. That means there's no lone ranger in this whole process. It's the church, it's the youth group, and it's all of us. You've got to be involved in this. Okay? And then leadership multiplication. That means basically there will be a time when you will become the trainer and teacher. Because like I said, the last stage of it is unless you teach somebody, you're not going to truly learn it. Okay? So last week or last time we did the foundations. Creating an atmosphere of love, building a healthy group image, establishing a contacting ministry, knowing and communicating a proper concept of Christ, building a prayer base, and communicating the word. Okay. Now I'm going to quiz somebody. Now here's your chance. If you were here last time, okay, tell me what that creating an atmosphere of love is all about. Come on. Who were here last time? Come on.
You greet them 7 times.
Okay, you greet them 7 times. You make sure that they are comfortably welcome. Right? Somebody said, by loving one another, they watch the way how you behave amongst each other. What did I do with David, remember? Come on, David. Okay, I know the white people, when I involve with their church, they do a lot of hugging. Okay, I know us Vietnamese, we don't like hugs a lot. But to be honest, I don't know what it is for you. Okay, Obama did this, right? Obama did this, right, with his wife. Kind of like their way of kind of like approving each other, or, you know. I don't know what it is you do. You need to have a way of creating an atmosphere of love. Okay? And it begins with us as we're welcoming people. Okay? Healthy group image. What are we talking about? Remember? Come on.
Have a name for ourselves.
Okay? Basically, yeah, how do you invite people to something or be a part of something you don't know? Like, for example, at school. Tell me of a group that they're recruiting. Give me a name. At school, like a group that they're recruiting for you to join. Okay, what club? Invisible Children's Club. Okay, they have a name. Any other example? Any other name? Any clubs? Student? Yeah, student council. So what would they do when they invite you to student council? What do they say? Okay, did you hear what she said?
No, can you speak louder, please?
Say what? Yeah, come to student council after school. Okay. So, what is the identity? What is the identity of that group?
They like school a lot.
Yeah, well, student council now, you know, sometimes it's, you know, different for...
Administration.
Okay. But here's the point. Here's the point. They do have an identity. Right? So my question to you is, what is your identity here? What do you call yourself here? Huh?
VAC. Bubble tea.
VAC. Okay. Are you happy with that? What's that? It's alright. No, it's a group. If you're going to have an event, right? You're going to invite new people, right? To come, right? What is it that you want to call yourself?
Fusion.
Oh no.
Okay. At the other church, at New South Fellowship, when we did that, and I was overseeing youth ministry, I got them together and have a consensus process, and we said, look, call whatever you want to call, as long as you can live with it and you have fun with it. So I think one group called themselves Fusion, which is the senior high, the junior high call themselves what? Ignite. They call themselves. We are the Ignite. So come. So then when they invite their friends to come to an outreach event or a party, they say, hey, come to the Ignite event with us. And we're going to have a good time. The identity create healthy group image. Okay? So what I want you to do is, application-wise, in order to build this foundation,